Alright, let's see if I can get Twitch to behave itself first. Oh my god, is that a gain? Is that my VTuber mom? Holy shit. Goddamn. What a glory it is to see the lovely Gain. Oh, how I've missed your face. Oh, how I miss your art. Oh, how I cannot wait to commission you for more stuff involving Safiri, because I only have 3 more forms I need to have commissioned to have reference sheets done by the amazing Gain Dumpling. Or if you guys are not commissioning Gain, what is wrong with you? Gain is amazing. Gain is glorious. Gain is incredible. They're the best VTuber parent I've ever asked for. I have no VTuber dad, though, because Safiri doesn't need a dad. Except for his weird backstory that I will explain at some point. But aside from me praising Gain, which I will never get tired of, hello everyone. Welcome to a stream of me doing this in Final Fantasy XVI. I have a migraine, which means I won't be going for too long. So, we're just going to be trying to do as much as I can with this severe headache, which has not gone down for a long period, because I'm trying to pace myself and not do something destructive, especially since Twitch somehow crashed on a test stream that my assistant was doing to see if we could do certain games. That was earlier this week. Hooray for technical problems. So, let's talk to good old Gav.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist.
Hey Nocturne, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Do not be alarmed by the stream title. I am not going to push myself too far. I am learning my lesson and taking care of myself. However, if you must be a bully today, I understand, because we're playing 16 again. Skip it up!
And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Gav, you mean well, but we need a plan. Also, we now have things open to do the things. Otto's counter is now open. New facilities. Those things with the small print that makes my eyes hurt. Renowned, completing side quest available through the or defeating notorious marks found on the hunt board will earn Clive Renowned, inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visit Desiree at in the Hideaway's mess to view current renown level and accept any donations available. Now, I would love to showcase to you guys all of the stuff for the hunt and everything, but I'll do that in a different stream.
Indeed.
Right now, let's instead just excuse me. Let's just, for the most part, do a side quest or two. Just to get myself all settled. Because if you guys,
About as much as a bothersome boy.
that was the most random question I ever had to fucking hear. If you guys do not know, I've been having weird connection issues with Twitch as of late when it comes to doing some small test streams for other games that I wanted to do for the channel. I don't know why. I think it's because of some weird times during the day. So whenever it's during the weekdays, I don't know what day to really use for streaming now. It's kind of disconcerting. But
It won't be long now, Martel. They'll try your apples soon enough.
this is a nice irrigation system, though. I'm not gonna lie. Purifying the water this way to make sure it's good, clean drinking water when you're an abandoned airship in the middle of nowhere. This is pretty interesting and very intricate. Can we learn about it in the main story? I doubt it.
Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yes, just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better than coming from you.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martell apples, they're called, in honor of her memory.
Martell Incorporated.
It's finally the day.
Martell Incorporated. Before we make those dolls that everyone seems to hate, we gonna give out apples and a bushel of dates from Martell Incorporated. I'm in a very singy mood, and I don't know, like every Saturday I seem to be in a singy mood. I don't know how to feel about that. You won't be able to make me the sword I'm looking for just yet.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
We gossiping now? We gossiping? Also, can anyone help me? Because I'm trying to figure out what this fashion design is with the two sashes over the dress. Now, I know the dress itself is just a regular sundress or whatever, but what is this fashion choice called? I've been trying to describe it for what I do on Tuesdays on a whole different thing involving TTRPG Tuesdays, but what is this style called? Like, I'll hold on the screen, obviously, for people in the VOD who will be trying to watch this on YouTube eventually. And for people watching now, I just am constantly curious on a genuine level. What is this called? What is this fashion choice called for the lady on the right? I'm genuinely curious. It's honestly something I want to know. Anywho, while I have that small question out into the ether, because who knows, maybe my question will be answered. Oh, that's okay, Gain. That's okay.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martell.
Martell. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait,
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Skibbity beep.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, make Martell livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martells, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should
I'm not reading that. There's too much small print.
To the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
So I will say that that's a new feature in the game. I did not see this when I bought the game originally because they didn't have these updates. It's like replaying 15 with all the stuff that they fixed. It's interesting.
Cursebreakers send their thanks and their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything, really. Thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
This was a nice side quest. I'm not gonna lie. I think I needed this kind of serotonin to start my day. Oh, and we leveled up from the wholesomeness. Okay, we're level 26, I think. I don't know, it's a lot of gray writing. Motel Incorporated. This one did. I don't know about regular quest, but it's not the ether, it's the water. Cuckoo. It's kind of rare getting storylines that make you feel good, especially in fiction. Do I even want to talk to this kid? I've never heard of a quest altering brain chemistry. Well, you have now, bitch. Okay, people are working on weapons. That's nice.
I don't know. You go first.
He's a dog. He's not a monster from hell. Jesus. Alright, there's apparently trouble in Rosario. Oh, I don't feel good at all. I really don't.
Finish with that log, so
But it's nice to have a moment like that to just give me a small alteration. I mean, that would be lovely. But that's not for everybody. I can attest, I'm just a very weird man. Yeah!
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Now, that moment should be nice and rewarding, and it kind of is.
Your mother's reach extends. Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Lit. Anyway, now, that should be a great moment between Clive and Jill, and it kind of is. It's just... Well, let me first pet Torgal. Torgal, best boy. He's a snack boy. Such a good boy. I love him. Here's some scritches. Such a good boy. I love him. But yeah, moments to where Jill is talking about the past and whatnot is just honestly good, but the problem is I don't feel invested, because what really is to be invested for Clive or for Jill when their stories aren't really that fleshed out? Because, oh good God, where do I even start? So I'm assuming anyone that watches these streams, whether it's for VODs or whatnot, it's supposed to be for fans of JRPGs or just RPGs in general. Great time overall. Amazing time for everybody. We love to play fantasy games that make us feel certain ways about dismantling a corrupt government and also doing what we can to save the world. We love that for ourselves. But remember the days where we had super long, sweeping stories that would take hundreds upon hundreds of hours, where even the side content just added to the world building and made us feel even better about what we were doing, because it felt like we were a part of a narrative that we could be lost in for months, if not years at a time, to try and find every last secret. We don't technically have that unless we go through a paywall system now. And I feel like with 16 being the abandoned child, that's kind of what we get all the time. And this is a representation of it, unless it's for nostalgia bait. And even then, nostalgia doesn't really last that long for the good benefits of what it can bring for us all, because it's not satiating what we need in gaming. But this is also coming from somebody that loves story over substance. I'm one of those horrendous people that they tell you stories about how they can't have fun unless the narrative is just as engaging as the gameplay. Oh, he's so evil. But I don't know. Like, I've heard the arguments that 16 is just as good as other RPGs that have come out in the past, if not better, but not as good as how many tabletop role-playing game adaptations and shit are. But oh Lord.
Very well.
I just, and this is probably gonna be weird as someone that actually has played a lot of 16, especially the DLC off stream with one of my friends who was just like, okay, I put my son down. Let's play some more of this. And we played the DLC. I even technically know about the stuff with Leviathan. Not a lot. Like, I think I figured out who it is before he and I play the DLC stuff. But I don't know. Like, I want to be one of those people that gives glowing reviews for everything, because we're all trying in this generation of gaming. We're all trying in this era of entertainment and all this. But I also can't be Chris Stuckman, who's just like, we have to give good reviews to everybody and everything, because if we're just giving the negatives, it's almost like we're bullying. And that is the most astute thing I've ever heard, because to critique is to grow. It's why I'm my hardest critic, because I can't let my own self rest on my own laurels, because I'm like, you could do better in these categories. So look over all the stuff, and shit, if you fucked up, still release it. You know what you did, still fucking release it. But, God, I have a lot of stuff on my train of thought for what's probably just going to be a 1 hour stream. I'm going to push this out while I'm trying to process this fucking headache I have.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right, I heard you the first time.
Fucking, I don't even know where to start. And I also feel bad that whenever Gain comes into a stream of mine where I'm like, I wonder if Gain likes what I do because I'm trying to be a good a VTuber child, cause Gain is the best. And I try not to be the what. Like every time Gain shows up, it's when I'm in a ramble state or I'm exhausted because of a long stream I have to do, and I'm like, I feel like I'm letting people down, man, by just being myself. It's weird. But where was I? Oh, come on, brain. Don't have an ADD moment. I'm just gonna go to the... Actually, let me look at our ability shits real quick. Ability sets. Tired of having to manually adjust your icon ability sets? Boy, howdy. I am always tired of my sets being a problem. Well, no more! Did you know you can register up to 5 sets of icon abilities via the Gear tab in the main menu? No, I did not. Well, you do now! While on this tab, use L1 or R1 to cycle through the sets and customize them as you wish. Remember, you cannot edit or change sets while in combat. Look, game. Thank you. Look, Nocturne, you've been stuck with me for years. You have a choice. You choose to be here at this rate. I don't want to fucking hear it. So you can complain all you want. You can walk away. You just choose not to. Oh, hush up. I would care. Fucking asshole. I wonder indeed. But I will not try to assess what I can and cannot do this moment, as we are in a bit of a pickle.
Welcome, stranger.
What are you selling? Okay, your sword is garbage. Never sell that to me again. This battle chain, it's garbage. Don't ever sell that to me again. These meteorites, they're too fucking expensive in a village like this. No, you're price gouging. This orchestra thing, I might buy it. But that's too much money though.
Much obliged.
I'm gonna take this high potion though. High potion.
Be seeing you again.
Arigato, nerimashita. Fuck, where was I? My train of thought. Right. It's just, I don't want to be one of those people that gives critiques for things, even if I enjoy them. Like, I know I'm a contrarian when I'm like, I have all these problems with 16, but I kind of like it more than I should. And again, that's fine. We're all different. We all have our different preferences. Like, I think the story to Final Fantasy X-2 is ass, but the gameplay is perfectly fine. There's just a charm to 16 that I can't help but like, but I also will give this a very harsh rating at the end of these streams. Do not worry. But I don't know. It's just weird to me when people are just trying to say we can't give bad reviews anymore to things because it's supposed to be demoralizing to point out when things aren't good. Like, when did we as people stop taking the harsh criticisms from critics and from consumers who are basically critics and say that that's a bullying tactic to say what doesn't work. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
You know, that actually makes a lot of sense, Nocturne. I'm not gonna lie. Because usually I'm just hearing people saying, oh, they just don't like to hear it because it sounds like it's a mean right-handed thing to then just say, well, the left hand is trying to recover the whole basis. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But you're making a good point where people are just like, oh, this is just trash. This is just trash and I don't like it because it's trash. Instead of an actual critic perspective about what does or doesn't work. And I don't know, I kind of feel like with the market that I have to work in, I have to be very critical of the stuff that I look in, because I don't really know. I think that as a person that makes TV shows and is trying to make his own movies and his own video games and his own independent TTRPG system, you know, a wide berth of the creative sphere, I need to be as critical of my fellow creatives as possible because we all need to grow. I just don't understand when people hear me just be like, okay, this works with this, but the problem that you have is that, and if you were to change it up to be somewhat better in this regard, then such and such. I don't get how that's bullying, but they'll take it when it's like, oh, this is trash because I don't like it. Get rid of it. It's weird. It's so fucking weird. I don't get it.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
Well, what do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
Must we, Clive? Must we? Man, I have a lot to get off my chest today. Probably because I keep hearing so many people being at my doorstep, not online, at my doorstep at times, just being like, so we need your critiques on things. Probably because the long, proper explanation, as Nocturne is saying, is beyond their mental capacity to comprehend, or is long, so it feels like they're getting beat repetitively instead of hit once with a 2x4 and move on. Even if that does nothing for them, unless you're into that, then do you. Oh my lord. Ooh, they were spicy at the end. But honestly, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, I kind of feel like this is why my brand is what it is. But I'm also kind of comfortable with it. Especially since for the tube for you to look at, as I'm pointing in the ether, I'm almost at 500 subs again. I don't know how the fuck I did that by myself this time, but I'm almost able to get channel memberships, baby! Which means soon people can harass me about reviewing all of the things. Which means someone out there will be like, review the B movie! And I'll be like, no, absolutely not. We'll pay you with memberships, son of a bitch! Then I'll have no choice. Or someone will finally get me to do a review of Meghan Trainor by being a channel member. And I will cry. And then I will punch something at my local gym, because that's some asinine bull.
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats, in the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
We're on the road again. Yes, we're on the road again. Make sure you tell a friend. I don't know when I'll be back again.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Cause we're on the road again. Talking about things every now and then. Will someone hand me a pen as we're jotting down things again? Oh god, this migraine is gonna make me say a whole lot of stuff, which is why I'm gonna keep rambling to keep my mind off the pain.
Since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystals collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
I will say, as a positive to 16, because I have a lot of positives, guys, do not worry. I don't play games I hate objectively on purpose, except for that one time. Like, when I say I do enjoy 16, it's because I honestly do think there was a good story here. There were good elements and nuggets here. This would have been great. This would have been fantastic. Where do I think it went wrong? Priorities. I sorry, game. I hope you're okay. Because if something bad happened to you, I'd cry. Of course, if something bad happened to Nocturne, I'd probably go on a whole angry fit. But that's because nobody fucks with Nocturne and gets away with it. What the hell is this? Anyway. So. Right. Get the fuck out of here! Yeah, these were not good mobs, bro. Like, make these mini bosses. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Priorities. What were the priorities with this game development? Because it damn sure wasn't to be on the main focus of this game. I know Square at this point in time. They stopped giving a shit about their flagship stuff and making quality content after they raked in billions in overall revenue from both release and from retention sales, to where they can't even tell what the fuck good stuff is anymore. It's just rehash, baby. Because half of the fucking shit that they messed up on is literally stuff involving them prioritizing the wrong programs to raise the bar for what gaming can and can't do. And for people that want to argue with me saying that gaming can't get better for any market, I would argue that a lot of indie companies have proven that there are ways to revolutionize the market. One of the games I could talk about is an indie game I've been following for years, which is Black Myth Wukong. I can't shut up about it whenever the topic is brought up. It's one of my favorite indie titles to research because I love Journey to the West. It's one of my favorite novels. Not as much as Count of Monte Cristo, mind you, but still, it's something I am passionate about. It's fantastic. Clive, what the fuck did you just do? So, for me, I enjoy what they have done to elevate what is the Souls gameplay to also go with a platformer that's also a little bit of an RPG element style gaming. It's not something that is misconstrued to not understand what it is for a prospect. It's not something that's trying to do the bare minimum. It's taking what works, but also elevating the process to make great, fluent choices for the gamer to feel immersed, to make every choice in combat prowess feel new. Just like how I felt when I played Ghost of Tsushima for the first time and saw the revolutionary style stuff when it came to sword combat. You can revolutionize so much in gaming. There are so many things that we could do and are still doing that make so many more good changes for the world in entertainment. But where was the priorities when it came to Square doing stuff for their mainstay line that kept them from bankruptcy and has kept them out of bankruptcy because of all of the dedicated fans still clamoring for more? It was over remakes instead of original stuff. Like, I'm still waiting for a sequel to Resonance of the Fate. I'm looking for an updated version of The Last Remnant. I'm looking for stuff involving upping the ante for other things.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
Oh, these are barely enemies.
And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation.
Oh my god, shut up.
Dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn.
I said shut up!
Say that again.
I'm glad that Clive agrees with me, because I wanted them to shut up! But I don't know if anyone's gonna understand my rambles on this whole topic, but it's also coming from the era of gaming to where the story mattered just as much as gameplay. What the developers wanted to do at the time was one of the best known things because it made everyone feel respected, and we had games that raised the bar because of having so many different moves made for our benefit was well rewarded and well thanked. Like whether it's because of the Yakuza franchise for myself, or Shadow of the Colossus, or Infamous, for fuck's sake, or the first Prince of Persia games. Oh cool, enemies have been slain. Liddy, liddy, liddy. Like, taking that in consideration to where we are now, it's kind of just, this is why I'm kind of getting harder and harder on properties, because we've shown that we can do good, but we're doing the lazy route, and I don't really like it. Like, I'm hoping for other things that are cropping up, because I know the game that my VTuber mom Gain is doing the art for. It's so precious. It's so interesting to look at. It looks like a very quaint visual novel. I wanted to do good. I wanted to do good because from all the updates I keep reading about, it's a great game. I wanted to do good, much like the dog dating visual novel I played of My Best Friend. No one really talks about that game, but it's cute. Oh, hold on.